Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're heading into Upper Egypt, specifically Sohag. It's a place where tradition is, well, everything, and family reputation can sometimes mean more than the official law.
And right in the middle of this, we have a really disturbing case. It involves black magic, betrayal, and a pretty grim discovery inside a barrel of concrete.
And it starts with tension already high. We're talking about the disappearance of Amal Ahmed Ali. She's 40 years old, from a wealthy, respected family in the livestock trade.
Yeah, a big deal in the community. And she vanished one evening after 10:00 p.m. The critical part. She'd left home earlier, around 6:00 p.m., carrying a lot of the family's gold jewelry. A significant amount.
So she disappears after 10 p.m. But what's really striking is the family's immediate reaction. They panic, naturally, but they don't suspect her. There's no thought that she just ran off with the gold.
No, they trusted her completely, and that absolute trust meant the search started fast and focused. Amal's father-in-law, he's 73, Mohammed Abu Elez, a very well-known figure there.
A real patriarch.
Exactly. He leads the search, and they immediately zero in on the last person Amal was known to have visited. That's Ahmed Mahrous, the local sorcerer. Quite famous, or maybe infamous.
So the family confronts him, Ahmed, and he's just calm. It's a simple story.
Almost too simple. He says, oh yeah, Amal was here, but she left my place around 8:00 p.m. That was 2 hours after she supposedly arrived. He claimed he had no idea where she went after that. Total ignorance.
But because of the family's standing,
Yeah.
and their certainty that something terrible had happened to Amal, not that she had fled, the police actually moved very quickly.
Unusually quickly for cases like this sometimes. They got a search warrant for Ahmed Mahrous' house almost straight away. And this house, it wasn't just a home.
No, it was basically his office. 3 stories,
Oh, right.
And the first 2 floors were all set up for his clients, for his magical services.
Imagine walking in there as an investigator. It must have been quite something. Amulets, charms, strange books, bits of magical material scattered everywhere. Definitely looked the part of a sorcerer's den.
But then, in a locked room, a consultation room, amongst all the usual occult stuff, chairs, couches, they see something completely jarring. Something that just doesn't fit.
Right, it's this large metal barrel, and it's filled with fresh concrete mix. Still hardening.
Concrete, nothing magical about that, just heavy, physical, and deeply suspicious. It basically stops them in their tracks.
It immediately became the focus. All the amulets and books suddenly seemed secondary. This barrel was different.
Okay, so how does someone go from being a teacher, respected background, all that, to this? To being the prime suspect because of a concrete-filled barrel in his magic room. Let's trace that path.
Yeah.
Who was Ahmed Mahrous before things went so dark?
Well, his start was pretty conventional, actually. Graduated from the Faculty of Education back in 2001. Started teaching in a village in Sohag. Came from a humble, decent family.
So a normal path. What changed?
Money. Or the lack of it. He apparently felt really dissatisfied. He saw neighbors, maybe with less education, doing much better financially through trade. His teacher's salary felt inadequate.
Yeah.
Insulting, maybe?
So the ambition was there early on. But instead of switching to trade, he went a very different route. Was it always about the money, the sorcery thing, or did he, believe any of it?
It seems overwhelmingly cynical. Even back in college, he'd started dabbling. Reading palms, coffee cups for classmates, that sort of thing. Building a small reputation.
Getting a feel for it.
Yeah. And learning that you don't need to be right all the time. Just a few good predictions, especially public ones, and people start to believe you have real power.
And after teaching for just 3 years, he saw the potential. Big potential.
Huge potential. He realized around 2006 that people facing really desperate situations, infertility, finding lost relatives, financial ruin, curses, they'd pay almost anything, way more than teaching ever would.
So he went all in.
He did, made it his profession. Moved from the simpler stuff, like finding husbands or jobs, to more serious, darker practices, causing illness, harm, finding hidden antiquities, eventually specializing in black magic, Sir Oswald.
And he tried to make it sound technical. You mentioned he used specific texts like Shams al-Marif.
Right, he framed it almost academically. He developed this system based on what practitioners call the science of letters and numbers. It's a kind of complex numerology, claiming to decode fate through patterns and texts.
So he wasn't just some guy chanting. He was positioning himself as a learned practitioner, using his teaching background, maybe.
Exactly. It gave his fraud a veneer of legitimacy. He was applying knowledge, albeit dark knowledge, and it worked, financially.
Clearly. Within a year, the humble home is gone, replaced by a 3-story mansion. His whole demeanor changes. People described him as terrifying.
Yeah, and even his family, who apparently weren't keen initially, they came around. Partly the money, partly maybe they were scared of him too, or believed his power themselves.
And the services had a price scale, obviously.
Oh yes, simple requests needed simple items, but the big stuff, the powerful magic he claimed needed servants or jinn to work, that had a very specific requirement.
Let me guess. Gold.
Large amounts of gold. He claimed the jinn demanded it, loved it. It was the perfect excuse to demand high-value payment, essentially a justification for theft built into the ritual.
So, if we look at the bigger picture, how did he keep this up? How did he maintain this illusion, especially when presumably not everything worked out? You mentioned a network.
That network was absolutely key. It wasn't just magic, it was information. He had thieves, informants, people all over the village feeding him details. Family secrets, disputes, who was rich, who was desperate, who was planning to visit him.
Which sets up his masterstroke. The theft ruse. This seems like how he really cemented his reputation.
It was brilliant. In a criminal way, he'd have his associated thieves steal something valuable, often livestock, because that's huge in Sohag. They'd hide it somewhere specific.
Then the victim comes to Ahmed, desperate.
Exactly. And Ahmed, after some dramatic performance, would reveal the exact hidden location, sometimes even name a supposed thief, likely someone unconnected or already an outcast.
So the victim gets their property back, Ahmed looks like a miracle worker, and the thieves get their cut. Everyone's happy, except maybe the person falsely accused.
Pretty much. It made him seem infallible, a true seer. His wealth grew, and so did the fear and respect he commanded.
Which brings us right back to Amal Ahmed Ali, longtime client, wealthy family, known to carry gold. She sounds like the perfect target for his biggest con.
She really was. And her situation became critical in 2013. 2 of her buffalo were stolen, a huge loss. She goes to Ahmed.
And he plays it cool.
Masterfully. He stalls, says he doesn't have the right requirements yet for such a powerful spell, makes her wait, makes her more desperate.
Building the pressure. And then,
the very next day, a 3rd buffalo gets stolen.
Yeah.
You have to assume this was his network, tightening the screws, deliberate escalation.
Pushing her over the edge.
Completely. Now she's in total panic, financially crippled, desperate for a solution. She's ready to accept whatever he demands.
Which was
the ultimate price. A huge amount of her family's gold, plus a large cash sum. Only then, he claimed, could he perform the special session needed to find the thief and end her troubles.
So she agrees. She gathers the gold, the cash, everything he asked for, and goes back to his house.
Carrying essentially the price of her own life, though she didn't know it, she arrived around 6 p.m. that final evening.
Okay, let's go back to that locked room. The police are there. They've seen the amulets, the books, and then this barrel of wet concrete. What happens next?
They approach it carefully. It's heavy, metallic. They notice the concrete is still fresh, hardening fast. They tap it.
Yeah.
The top sounds muffled, dense, but when they tap near the bottom, it sounds different, hollow, like there's a space or something else inside near the base.
That's not right. Something's in there.
Exactly. So they decide to make an opening near the bottom, carefully break through the metal.
And what comes out?
Blood, just blood seeping out. Confirmation of the absolute worst fear.
Oh, wow.
The order is given immediately.
We're to break open the concrete.
And inside. Inside the hardening concrete, they found Amal's body. She'd been killed by a savage blow to the head. Looks like a cleaver, maybe a machete. Brutal.
And the gold.
Right there in the same room. The police found the entire cache of gold and the cash she'd brought for the ritual. The motive was sitting right there next to the body.
So they arrest Ahmed. Does he stick to his story?
Initially, yes. Denies everything. Says anyone could have come into his offices, maybe left the barrel there. But the investigators were moving fast. They found a crucial witness.
Ooh.
One of his workers. Someone who helped him with manual tasks. This worker confirmed Ahmed ordered the concrete mix the day before the body was found. And then weirdly, Ahmed sent him home early, saying he'd finished the job himself. Pouring concrete is heavy work to do alone.
That's damning. The concrete order, sending the helper away.
It pinned it right on him. Faced with the body, the gold, the worker's testimony, Ahmed finally confessed.
What was the sequence? What does he admit to?
It was chillingly straightforward. Amal arrived at 6 p.m. He made sure she had the gold and the money. Then he attacked her with the axe or machete. Killed her right there.
Oh, yeah.
Put her body in the barrel, poured the concrete over her. And the most disturbing part, he just went upstairs, back to his family on the 3rd floor, acted like nothing had happened.
Just incredible coldness. What was his plan for the barrel?
He admitted he needed to wait about 3 days. let the concrete fully cure, become completely solid rock. Then he planned to move the barrel and bury it somewhere on his land, dispose of it permanently.
But he didn't get the chance.
No. The only reason his plan failed was the speed and insistence of Amal's father-in-law, Muhammad Abu el-Ez. His influence, his refusal to wait, pushed the police investigation forward much faster than Ahmed anticipated.
They got the warrant and searched the house before the concrete fully set, before he could move the evidence.
Exactly. That quick action, driven by the family's certainty, foiled the whole thing.
And the motive
Yes.
wasn't just greed for the gold, was it? There was something else.
Yeah. That's right. He revealed Amal had started complaining recently, saying his magic wasn't working as well anymore, that the results were fading.
So she was questioning his power. That's dangerous for someone like him.
Extremely dangerous. He feared she'd leave him for another sorcerer, and worse, maybe start telling people he was a fraud. So the murder solved two problems for him. Silence the doubter and get a massive payout. Maximum gain, maximum security for his reputation, or so he thought.
It really leads to this central paradox, doesn't it? His whole life, his wealth, his power, it was all built on this complex system of belief in unseen forces, jinn, rituals, special texts, academic even in its own twisted way.
Yeah, all very elaborate, intellectualized fraud. But the crime itself, the actual act, it couldn't have been more basic, more brutally physical. An axe and a barrel of concrete.
The master of supernatural deception resorts to the most mundane, physical concealment method imaginable.
It really exposes the core of it, the complex magic, the science of letters, the jinn. None of it mattered when it came to committing the actual crime or trying to hide it. He used basic physical violence and basic physical materials.
All the supposed power over the unseen world just vanished.
Yeah.
It became a very human crime of greed and rage.
And the moment real-world investigation techniques were applied, witness testimony, physical evidence, the whole facade just crumbled instantly.
So, Ahmed Mahrous, the teacher turned sorcerer, turned millionaire murderer. What happened to him?
The verdict was swift. Given the evidence, the confession. He was sentenced to execution for his crimes. A grim end to a life built on exploiting belief and desperation.
It leaves you thinking, doesn't it?
It really does. And here's something for you to mull over. All that secret knowledge he supposedly mastered, those dark rituals, the texts he studied, if any of it held real power, the kind of power he claimed gave him control over others, why was it utterly useless in protecting him from the simple human consequences of his own actions, his own greed? It makes you think about the real difference between the power people believe in and the power that actually shapes our world.